Health Guru here. Let's talk about the problem with organized religion. Confidence in organized religion is way down, and it has been gradually going down for the past few decades. This decline in confidence is parallel with the decline in other ways people are expressing their religious and spiritual instincts. Fewer people indicate they identify with an official religion these days, and even fewer say they are members of a church, a synagogue, or a mosque. There are several specific explanations for this current drop in confidence. There is the evident fact that organized religion has in recent years been shooting itself in the foot. Catholic priest abuse scandals have been recurring features in the news for almost 2 decades. Southern Baptists were rolled by allegations of sexual harassment and abuse. The United Methodist Church has been in the news regarding major denomination splitting arguments about same-sex marriage and allowing LGBT individuals to be clergy members. These stories are unlikely to increase the average folks' confidence in organized religion. Some people believe that church officials are con artists that get away with swindling the poorest and most vulnerable citizens out of millions. They call it religion, which allows them to cheat the government too. If the church wants to serve the public, they should refrain from interfering with politics and abstain from receiving government aid. Maybe if they were subject to taxation and the limited transparency that comes with it, the clergy would stop being so greedy. Pastors can easily fall into the trap of money grubbing. This is true if money winds up in the pastor's pocket that was earmarked for some other realm of ministry. This is true if the minister is asked about his financial policy with regard to ministry money, and he responds with, "That's none of your business." Ministers should keep your hands out of the money, period. Don't take cash from people. Don't give change. Don't take up the offerings. Don't count the offering, or even concern yourself with where the money is counted. And by all means, don't try to find out who gives the most. If you do, it will affect the way you preach. Pastors have to watch out for doing ministry just for money, or officiating a wedding, for example, because there's money in it, or doing a funeral because you'll get $100. Greed has no shame. It will wink at you and tempt you, especially in a day when many pastors are underpaid relative to their education. Experts have found that the least religious societies also tend to be the most peaceful, prosperous, and equitable, with public policies that help people to flourish while decreasing both desperation and economic gluttony. Religion strives on anxiety. But even if this is the case, there's a good reason to suspect that the connection between religion and malfunctioning societies goes hand in hand. Here are 6 ways religion makes peaceful prosperity harder to achieve. Religion promotes tribalism. Rather than assuming good intentions, practitioners often are taught to treat outsiders with suspicion. The Bible says, "Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers." The Quran says, "They wish that you disbelieve as they disbelieve, and then you would be equal. Therefore, take not to yourselves friends of them." At best, these teachings discourage or even forbid the kinds of friendship and intermarriage that help clans and tribes become part of a larger whole. At worst, outsiders are seen as enemies of God and goodness, potential agents of Satan, lacking in morality and not to be trusted. Believers might huddle together, anticipating martyrdom. When simmering tensions erupt, societies fracture. Religion anchors believers to the Iron Age. Now, the Iron Age was a time of rampant superstition and ignorance, inequality, racism, misogyny, and violence. Slavery had God's sanction. Women and children were literally possessions of men. Desperate people sacrificed animals, agricultural products, and enemy soldiers were burnt offerings intended to appease dangerous gods. Sacred texts, including the Bible, Torah, and Quran, all preserve and protect fragments of the Iron Age culture, putting a God's name and endorsement on some of the worst human impulses. Any believer looking to excuse his own temper, sense of superiority, bigotry, or planetary destruction can find validation in writings that claim to be authored by God. Today, humanity's moral consciousness is evolving, grounded in an ever deeper and broader understanding of the Golden Rule. But many conservative believers can't move forward. They are anchored to the Iron Age. This pits them against change in a never-ending battle that consumes public energy and slows creative problem-solving. Religion makes a virtue out of faith. Trust and obey, for there is no other way to be happy. So sing children in Sunday schools across America. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Pastors tell believers who have been shaken by horrors like cancer, faith is a virtue. As science eats away at territory once held by religion, traditional religious beliefs require greater and greater mental defenses against threatening information. To stay strong, religion trains believers to practice self-deception. Shut out contradictory evidence and trust authorities rather than their own capacity to think. This approach seeps into other parts of life. Government in particular becomes a fight between competing ideologies rather than a quest to figure out practical, evidence-based solutions that promote well-being. Religion diverts generous impulses and good intentions. Insensitive financial appeals during times of crisis thankfully are not the norm, but religion does routinely redirect generosity in order to perpetuate religion itself. Generous people are encouraged to give till it hurts, to promote the church itself rather than the general welfare. Each year, thousands of missionaries throw themselves into the hard work of saving souls, rather than saving lives or saving our planetary life support system. Their work, tax-free, gobbles up financial and human capital. Besides exploiting positive moral energy like kindness or generosity, religion often redirects moral disgust and anger. Attaching these emotions to arbitrary religious rules rather than questions of real harm. Orthodox Jews spend money on wigs for women. Evangelical parents, forced to choose between righteousness and love, kick their queer teens out into the street. Catholic bishops also impose righteous rules on operating rooms. Religion teaches helplessness. In the most conservative sects of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, women are seen as more virtuous if they let God manage their family planning. Droughts, poverty, and cancer get attributed to the will of God rather than bad decisions or bad systems. Believers wait for God to solve problems they could solve themselves. This attitude harms society as well as individuals. When today's largest religions came into existence, ordinary people had little power to change social structures, either through technological innovation or advocacy. Living well and doing good were largely personal matters. When this mentality persists, religion inspires personal piety without social responsibility. Structural problems can be ignored as long as the believer is kind to friends and family and generous to the tribal community of believers. Religions seek power. Religions are man-made institutions, just like for-profit corporations. And like any corporation to survive and grow, religion must find a way to build power and wealth and compete for market share. Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, any large enduring religious institution is an expert at this, just like Coca-Cola or Chevron. They are willing to wield their power and wealth in the service of self-perpetuation, even if it harms society at large. In fact, unbeknown to religious practitioners, harming society may actually be part of religion's survival strategy. When people feel prosperous and secure, the hold of religion weakens. Critics of religion in general may view religion as being outdated, harmful to the individual, harmful to society, an impediment to the progress of science or humanity, a source of immoral acts or customs, and also a political tool for social control. The problem with organized religion, as everyone knows, is its tremendous capacity to disappoint. The gap between the behavior of religious people and our professed beliefs can be so huge that it's breathtaking. The greater our hopes for the church, the more profound our disappointment when they are dashed. Our aspirations are lofty, to be a place that channels the best and the highest human emotions in one direction for the building up of God's realm on earth as it is in heaven. So when we seem to be failing to live up to those aspirations, despair may follow. To summarize, the decline in formal religion and presumably the decline in confidence in organized religion may partially reflect this absence of inspirational religious leaders of high integrity and leadership capability. Researchers say people may be leaving ministers and not churches. It's possible that our measurement of confidence in organized religion only reflects a slice of confidence in religion per se. We're seeing the continuing trend toward more religious entities and ways of worshiping that are not traditional. Thus, the drop in confidence in organized religion does not necessarily equate to a drop in confidence in religion. People may simply be shifting their underlying religious and spiritual instincts to new and different outlets, with organized religion left behind. So now that we know better, let's do better. Okay, everybody, now it's time for movement. Just follow us. Come on. That's right. Move your body. Yes. Keep it up now. That's right. Stretch. Yes. Keep it up now. You're looking good. That's right. Stretch your body. Yeah. Yeah. Just follow us. You're looking good. You looking real good. That's right. Keep it up now. Come on. Yeah. You looking real good. We're almost done. That's right. So, how'd you do? Great. See you next time.